Welcome to the Life with Joey Calvo podcast. I'm Joey Calvo. Before we get started, two things. One, please take some time and help out the victims of the California wildfires. They really need our help for those that lost everything during that time. The second thing is this podcast is in the process of starting a GoFundMe campaign to upgrade the equipment that we use for these podcasts, as well as expanding to a point where we are working on a meet and greet in Atlantic City, New Jersey, hopefully in September. And it would be great for all the fans and viewers that watch these podcasts to come down to Atlantic City and meet some of the former guests and possibly our number one fan even. We are working on that part, but we do, as of right now, we do have two former guests that are interested. So we just gotta, raise the funds to make it happen. So the link is in the comments as well as the description of the video. And today we have Dr. Lynn. She is a naturopath. She's also a yoga master, as well a yoga therapist, karma master, and a holistic health teacher, as well as an author and producer of over 30 years experience. Dr. Lynn, thank you for coming on the podcast.
Well, thanks for inviting me, Joey. It's fun to be here.
Yeah. So how did we get to where we started, where we're at now?
Well, we got a nice 40-year history here, even more than that. I grew up on a small island off the coast of Maine. So I grew up in a very rural, as I say to people, we didn't use the word, but we were eating organic before it was cool to eat organic. Mm-hmm. We had to eat whatever was there. So I grew up living a pretty healthy lifestyle of, outdoor playing and eating food in season. And that's kind of how we grew up. And so it kind of was a philosophy that I followed through my life. And as I went through the different ups and downs and pitfalls in my life, whether they were health issues or stress or the things I was going through, I always found that, the holistic health approach always brought me back to balance. And that's the path I followed.
Okay. All right. So, so you're also into yoga as well as a karma master and a holistic health teacher. So what is karma?
Well, most people refer to it as the pop culture good and bad. There's good karma, bad karma. But karma is not that. That karma tells us that that's judgment. We judge. Karma simply means cause and effect. And it simply means that there's energy. And energy is everything. We are energy. Everything is energy. And it's what you do with your energy which will directly come back to you. So it's not whether you do something bad and immediately something bad comes back to you, but it's how you use your energy and how you create your energy.
Okay. So next thing is one thing that you, like I said, you're also a naturopath and as well as a yoga therapist. What is natural sexual health?
Well, the very first thing we are as human beings is sexual. Long before anything happens, it's the egg and the sperm come together and they create this being, and there's a sexuality. And our sexuality is something that follows us through life. And we don't often stop and think that your charisma, your energy that you put out there is a direct result of your sexual energy. And it's important to feed and support and take care of that energy, just like everything else. So we think of, I need to take care of my mental health, I need to take care of my gut health, but we also need to take care of our sexual health.
Okay. All right. Okay. One thing that I am going through right now in reference to sexual health is that I was diagnosed with diabetes back in around Thanksgiving of 23. And one thing, and because of my weight and stuff, I was diagnosed with ED, erectile dysfunction. And I'm not ashamed to say it, folks. Okay? I'm going to be 54 in less than 2 weeks. I'm not ashamed to say it. But is there a natural way? I mean, the doctor suggested Cialis. Is there a natural way of
Dealing with ED?
Yeah.
Everybody's looking for the aphrodisiac or that magic potion, and there is no such thing. What it is our sexual health is determined by vitamins and minerals, just like every other part of your body. So it has to do with two things. It has to do with circulation. Circulation is important. And the second thing is what we're putting into our body. And those two things take us back to what is called the 3 pillars of health, and that's diet, exercise, and sleep. And when those 3 things are in balance, then the body is in its natural balance. So it's a matter of making sure that you're exercising, you're eating a healthy diet, and also getting good sleep, because sleep can affect you as well.
Okay. All right. Well, sleep, we're starting to get a little more of since I was let go at Amazon. And exercise, I do go out for a walk at least once a day. But, I don't do much after that because, I don't have the finances to go to the gym and really work out. And my diet's not the greatest either. I mean, I do get salad. I have been eating fruit a couple of times a week, but I've been more into I've been more into eating Old Bay shrimp, and I've been getting carried away on some Old Bay shrimp, and but most of the time that I eat anything, it's kind of the processed foods like the smoked sausage, hot dogs, or sometimes cereal, or other times I might have ice cream, but not the non-dairy, like the regular ice cream, like the Ben & Jerry's strawberry cheesecake, or snacking on what we have here in Philadelphia, Tasty Cake Crimpets. They're cakes. So, and my favorite one is back for a limited time. It's a pancake one. It's got the maple icing, and it's got a special cream inside, and it's supposed to taste like pancakes, and it's really, really good. I got so hooked to it years ago. But how's the best way of staying vital and radiant?
Well, we go right back to those 3 pillars of health, and everything comes down to your diet. And I wrote a book about it's called the yoga of eating, and it's a path called Anamaya Kosha. And basically, it just says you are what you eat. You are what and how you eat. We are a reflection of that, because the body is just a machine. And that machine is like your car. If you put garbage in your car, pretty soon the engine's going to break down and not work. It's the same thing with the body. And we evolved as a human species. We evolved moving. We didn't evolve sitting in front of a computer. We evolved moving. And so the body is designed to move. It is not designed to sit. And unfortunately, in our modern day society, we do a lot of sitting. So it's important, those 3 things.
Okay. What is burnout? What is an actual version of burnout like?
Well, a good way to explain it is when we're stressed, when we're going through stress, it's like we got a whole bunch of balls that we're kind of bouncing up in the air. And we keep those balls going and we keep going and we stress ourselves out and da 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 da. And then finally, the balls drop and they roll all over the floor. You can't catch them anymore. There's no energy left. There's no physical or mental energy left to pick any of those balls up. And that is really what happens when we reach burnout. So it's not stress. Stress takes us to burnout. Burnout is a complete collapse of the physical, mental, and soulful self.
Okay. Okay. One thing I'm in the process of doing is I don't know if we can consider this holistic, but I have a former classmate, and we did we could call it a holistic cleansing, and he sent me I don't know if you can see it, the heart pendant here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just gotta get a chain for it to put around, but he says this would help. What are the really true powers of a pendant like this?
It's a circle and it's got a line in it. So it's kind of, I would say is it a symbol of infinity?
Well, that I don't know. I mean, he told me it's more for the heart. It cleanses the heart, and let everything flow through. All the toxins flow through.
Well, it's like a talisman. People used to wear those and wear things around their necks and around their wrists. Now, I don't know if it's made of copper or what it is. Copper sometimes
copper.
used. It's copper. Yeah, that's used to improve your circulation. Yes.
Okay.
From the heat from your skin. Yeah.
Okay. So it would cleanse out all the toxins in reference to. No, it won't cleanse out the toxins.
No, it will assist maybe, but again, it's not like okay, this is the magic bullet, and if I put this on, I can eat whatever I want, do whatever I want, and it's going to be the magic bullet. There is no magic bullet. We have to do all of these things together.
Okay. All right. So another thing about me is that I was diagnosed with anxiety and depression back in 2009. How can you naturally find happiness?
Well, happiness is something that you have to find within yourself. And the problem is we're all looking for happiness outside of ourselves. And we unfortunately live in this society where there's so much comparison and there's so much fakeness out there. I mean, all you need to do is go on Instagram and just scroll for a few minutes and it's fake, 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 fake. And we get caught up in this comparison and this feeling like, oh, my life must be horrible. Look how wonderful these people's lives are. When 99% of the time it's all fake. So happiness is really something that you need to find within yourself. And it's like I used to say to people would say to me question me about happiness. I would say, I am a happy person. I really am. I may not be happy with a particular situation that, let's say, is going on in my life, but I am a happy person. And there is a big difference with being unhappy or happy with the situation and being happy within yourself.
Okay. Yeah, that's been the main battle. And
but you have to realize you're a unique individual. There is no one in this world like you. You are unique. That makes each and every one of us a special person, but it doesn't make us any more special than anyone else. But we are unique. We're on our own path.
Okay. In reference to the natural happiness, how can you build a healthy relationship naturally? Besides the relationship within yourself.
Are you talking about with food to live a natural life?
Well, more of the physical um, person type.
Well, the first and foremost thing is you have to love yourself,
Yeah.
and you have to put your health first, because that is the most important thing in the world. Because once your health goes, I don't care how much money you have. Steve Jobs had more money than all of us. Once his health went, that was it. So your health is the most important thing in your life, and that comes back to, it all comes back to what you do with your energy and how you care about yourself. According to karma, this body that you've reincarnated and chosen this body to work out whatever it is you need to work out. But inside you is an essence and a soul. And that soul really wants you to do your very best walking through this world.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. You were mentioning about wealth in reference to always, loving yourself and putting your health first, which I started doing over the past couple of years, with the exception of the loving myself, because that's kind of one of my demons, I call it right now, is the attempting to love myself. And when I do feel like I am, I'll do something and I'll turn around, I'll go right thrashing right back at it and say, you know what? How can I love myself if I'm doing this? Or how can I love myself if I'm pushing myself into a relationship? Or how can I love myself if I'm controlling someone? So like as soon as someone mentions that I'm doing something wrong, and I always appreciate that they do, that's when I turn around. It's like, why should I love myself for that? And then I'm back to square one and back into the depression. So why is wealth good, and how do I become wealthy?
Well, wealth is good with what you do with it. The problem in the world is not wealth. The problem in the world is greed. There's a difference there. And if you strive to be a wealthy person and that wealth is used for the betterment of the world, you're creating jobs, you're putting money into the economy, you're helping people, you're using some of that money for, what do I want to say, for good causes and things like that. If that's it, then make all the money you can. It's not bad to make money. And that is kind of a misnomer that people think that, oh, if you're living the yoga path, you should live this austere life. No, it's good to be wealthy, but it's what you do with the wealth. And the problem in the world is not wealth, it's greed.
Okay. And what's the best description of greed, of what, really what leads someone into wanting to be greedy?
Well, greed is one of the great passions that karma teaches us, that we are all here. We all have to face greed in our life. And, we can get greedy in that I could be greedy with my time. Okay. That's a way of being greedy, of not giving of my time. We all are that. Or maybe you push yourself too hard to do something and then you get hurt. That's a greedy person. You're being greedy with your energy. So greed is, it goes all the way from you all the way out into the world. It's that wanting and keep taking and not giving. You can take and take and take, but you got to give at some point.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because that's one thing. Like in relationships, I attempted to be a two-way street, but wind up being cheated on. So I wind up being hurt for it, one way or another. Here's a question that really should be answered. I mean, what is actually the best wealth to have?
The best wealth? Your
Yes.
health. Your health.
Okay.
Your health is your wealth. If you are a healthy person, you get up every day and you got your health, there's nothing that can stop you from doing the things that are important and the things you want to do. Again, you can have all the money in the world, but if you lose your health, there's nothing you can do. So if you want to create wealth in this world, the first thing you need to do is you need to be a generous person, be generous with yourself, take care of your health, and then get out there and find a need and take care of that need. Because if there is a need out there and you can take care of that need, you're going to become a wealthy person.
Okay. So health would be the best wealth to have. That's
above all.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because like I said, in reference to that, that's
lose
one
your
thing.
health for a day. Get a cold, just a common everyday cold, and we're all miserable, and you can't do anything. And the minute that cold breaks and you get up, you appreciate your health. But then we go right back into our life, and we don't stop every day and say, "Wow, I'm really glad I have my health. What can I do to keep myself healthy?" That's the real key.
Okay. So another question is, why is karma so important when it comes to health, happiness, wealth, and peace?
Because karma is a very practical guide. And according to karma, we are here to live out the soul's mission, whatever that is. And the best way to live out your soul's mission and work through your karma is to keep yourself healthy, because you got to get up and do this stuff every day. And life, as I teach my students, life is chaotic. It will never not be chaotic. There will never not be wars or famine. There will never not be any of this stuff. It all exists and has since the beginning of time. It's what you do with the energy and with your time that determines how your life turns out.
Okay. In reference to that, I do have one more question. Where do you see life in 5 years, 10 years?
Well, I don't have a crystal ball, but
Okay.
I would say if I paid attention to what's happening in the world, I would see that we are very, very much going into a robotic world, and there will be a change in the way humans interact with the world, because you'll be interacting with everything on a technological, digital. That's the way the world is going. But it's just like every other evolution. There was the Industrial Revolution. That changed everything. There were people who fought it and said, "I'm not giving up my horse. Nope, those cars aren't any good. That's not going to be any good." And then boom, those people. So it's a matter of paying attention to where the world's going, following it, doing what you can, and paying attention to what you do with your energy.
Okay. So where can we find you? Where can we reach out to you if anyone's interested in learning more about either how to improve improving yoga and exercise, or learning to improve their karma, or even even learning the natural way of being healthier?
All you have to do is it's drlynn.com, and it's spelled out DOCTORLYNN.com. And if you go on my website, you'll see that I have online classes, I have books, I have a place for consultations, and you can read all about me. Everything's there. My social media handles are up top of the page. There's a weekly blog that comes out. So all of that. Thank you very much for putting that up. That's me. That's how to find me. Thanks, Joey.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, not a problem at all. I ran out of questions. So I do thank you so much for coming to the podcast and taking your time out. And if you're welcome to come back on at any time if there's anything new that you want to promote. Do you have anything else to promote besides the website that's coming up for you?
No, the only thing that I would say is that if I will leave your listeners with this, just remember your health is your wealth. Take care of it. That's number one.
All right. Well, Dr. Lynn, again, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. And anytime you want to come on the podcast again, please let me know. I'll be happy to help you in the best way possible.
Okay. Thanks, Joey.
Okay, and thank you everyone for watching the Life with Joey Calvo live stream podcast. God bless you all.